Hey guys, welcome to another video on Bharat in Germany. My name is Bharat, and in this video we have a special guest with us who is Ujjwal, and she's actually in UK, and she makes a lot of YouTube videos about how it is to live in UK, jobs, salaries, things like that. So Ujjwal, welcome to the channel. Tell us a bit about yourself, and then we jump into our discussion.
Hi, I'm Ujjwal Choudhary, and as he already mentioned, that I also have a channel regarding the same sort of videos he makes. But my since I'm in UK and my student life is all I make videos about. So let's get started. And any questions you have, let's just start from there because
Okay.
obviously.
Actually, I'm super curious about like a bit about your background. Where do you come from and stuff, and like how did you get motivated to start YouTube?
Actually, I wanted to start it when actually I thought it before I came here. I had it in my mind that I'll go there and start a channel. But in starting, when I came in 2019, I did not feel that I was confident enough. And I thought like, probably I can't do it. And then in 2019, when there was lockdown in 2020, at the end of the 19 and 2020 starting, so I thought like, since it's lockdown and we don't have much to do, I shot one first video just like roaming around, and I wanted to see if I'm camera shy because I believed that I was camera shy. And then my friend just shot it for me, and we were roaming around, and he was like, okay. So, and I obviously I don't make scripts and everything because I speak in my own language, so that's pretty much easier for me.
Mhm.
So then I got to know that I wasn't camera shy at all. And we uploaded that video and it got really good views in the first time and first hours. So I thought like, yeah, let's start making. And then students started asking me questions there because they wanted to know before coming here how life here was and what were the expectations they had in mind and what was actually the reality. So
Mhm.
I thought, why not like help students as well as start vlogging and every other thing on the channel too. But since it was lockdown, I couldn't go any other places. So I started helping students instead.
That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you always have to get over the feeling of like being camera shy. Like for me, it was very difficult. The first video, I could just record a few seconds outside, then I had to like close it, and then it took a long time. But like some people are like natural at that, so like that's very cool. And where do you come from? Ujjwal, also from Haryana or?
Oh, I'm from Ghaziabad,
Okay.
Delhi, which is obviously, in Uttar
Yes.
Pradesh.
Yes. Yes.
But
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the surnames are same, and I was like,
Yeah. People
perfect.
call me Haryanvi as well because my accent, obviously I've lived with so many people from Haryana,
Yeah.
and the accent obviously we speak in Delhi is
Yeah.
almost same as normal Haryanvi, not like proper Haryanvi. So they
Yes.
call me Haryanvi as well, apparently.
Perfect. So, Ujjwal, like, how is it to actually study in US? Like, how does the education system look like? Do you have tuition fee? What kind of costs? Can you explain us a bit more there?
Yeah, so in UK, it's like you're gonna have to think about the university. So the university fee is almost it starts from like £12,000, and
Mhm.
it obviously rises up to according to your course, whatever course you're going into, and then it depends upon the university as well, because some universities are in cheaper cities. So they'll have a little less fee, and then some are in posh cities, so they're gonna have a little more fee. And when we think about coming to UK, the first thing in our mind is like how much it is going to cost us.
Mhm.
So the cost is almost around 20 to 20 lakh in rupees. For a year, obviously, and then it depends if you're going to come here for masters, for bachelors. So it's going to increase according to your course and everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's all right. It's not that bad, but if you're not super rich, it
Yeah.
obviously looks that yeah, money is going out of your bank account.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, this is definitely a lot. I know, like, at the time when I was thinking of doing my master's and stuff, I was like, my parents did not let me do bachelor's in Germany because it was expensive. And they were like, okay, like, you go for master's, it's like free anyways. And then till that time, like, you have more experience and things like that. And in Germany, for example, we don't have tuition fee as such. The universities charge semester contribution. And with this, like, they give you the semester tickets. So public transportation you can use like completely for free. And you can go around sometimes like also across countries. So it like depends on like particular regions. And then we have a yearly cost of around 10,336 euros. You have to show to the German government that I have enough money to sustain myself every single month. I can pay the rent, I can pay the food. That's not an issue at all. So I think like
Yeah.
that comes into the Indian like currency conversion, that should be around 9 lakh rupees, something like that. So, but like this kind of covers everything. And like the 20 lakh you said, like was it just the tuition fee, or like was it like everything combined?
In some unis, it's just fee. And
Okay.
actually, when you apply for visa, as you said, you need to show all your expenses, if you can actually pay or not before the visa.
Hmm.
And that's 20 to 20 lakh you need to show in the
Hmm.
account, which is 20 to 22,000 pounds
Hmm.
and around. And obviously, the uni fee, you can just give it in the first installment. Some people just give it one and go, and it's like 12,000. It's the starting, but some universities charge 20,000 fee as well per year, because we have a lot of tuition fee involved. Germany, I think, is relatively cheaper, as you just mentioned. Obviously, that you don't have any fee, tuition fee, which is quite good, because all we are paying is just a tuition fee and all our expenses, which makes it more expensive.
Yeah.
In your country, I mean, do they not need German language fluency in the German
Right.
language?
So, I mean, like for studying, like you definitely don't need any kind of German. So, this means you can study your master's program, your bachelor's programs, MBA, whatsoever in English. That's fine. But like I always say, like when you're thinking about like finding a job and stuff, I think it is very important that you learn German, because otherwise like you do not get into the higher level positions. You're always like just doing the standard work, like which doesn't really make sense for a lot of people. So what students do is like, okay, they start studying, sometimes they start learning German like alongside their studies, and then generally like if they are smart, they are done with the German like till the studies end. And otherwise like in IT sector anyways, like you can get a job in any European country. That's not such a big issue. Germany,
Yeah.
indeed, it is like very, very cheap. I was comparing it. So with this YouTube series, Ujjwal, we are comparing all of the countries. So Ireland, Sweden, Norway, and we saw that like Germany is like really amongst the cheapest, because like the groceries are affordable, the rents are affordable, things like that. But like of course the competition is higher. Every single time you see like something is like coming for cheap, like you have more demand there. So like this is
Yeah.
like one thing that we have seen.
Yeah, that's right. Because we actually pay a lot in expenses as well.
Mhm.
Depends also upon the city you're living in. For example, I live in Cambridge, and Cambridge is posh, and Cambridge is famous because it's student hub, and it's famous for Cambridge Uni. So we pay relatively more rent than other cities such as Coventry or any other city. So it's as much expensive as almost London. And also London is like obviously such a big city, and obviously all of the people from the world come in London, so it makes sense that it's expensive. But Cambridge is expensive as well, because it's posh.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's not good for students, especially if you can just work like 20 hours a week, and you're not rich. So it
Mm.
makes sense that you got to work hard, and smart at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I think if you come for UK, like, so first of all, I think people have to like really decide more about the country than they have to decide about the money. So, like, for example, I talk about Germany, like, you have to be comfortable, like, knowing that everybody around you would be speaking German. Like, would you be comfortable with that? Like, because you have to first decide the country, then you decide the money and things like that. And like, I think every single person have their own choices. Some want to come to like UK, some for Canada, US, and so on. And I think like with Germany, like you have also like some kind of like constraints there. Yeah. And what is the cost, Ujjwal, if I just talk about the living cost in Germany, like we are paying in living costs, like as students, like 600 euros in a bigger city, and in smaller cities, like around 500, 550 euros, something like that.
So here, for example, I pay just 475 for a single room, which is not quite too big. It's just a decent sized room,
Mhm.
and I pay 475 just for that. And then other than that, I would be paying like my other expenses, for example, groceries and everything. So it's gonna cost me another 200 pound.
Mhm.
But obviously, if you want to live in a place, for example, a student accommodation where you want to network with people and you want to get to know other students as well, because
Mhm.
this is just a shared house where we share a kitchen and bathroom as well. But if you want to live in a studio, that's alone going to cost you around 800 to 900 pounds a month. And then you're going to think about your groceries, which is also going to be another 200 pounds. So that will be like around 1,000 to 1,200 pounds a month.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that's in Cambridge. And if you go another city, that's going to be a little cheaper. For
Mhm.
example, you can just like have a own suite room in around like 500 pounds, and then in 700 pounds total you can just live a luxurious life, I think. In
That's
some
very
other
nice.
cities. Yeah, yeah, but here it's really expensive, it's
Mhm.
too expensive.
And the money that you're paying right now, Ujjwal, for your like apartment, like is it like the average or is it like more expensive or like it could be also cheaper? Like what's the story?
It could have been a bit cheaper because I used to live in 400-pound room, but obviously it depends upon the room as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Because the more cheaper it is, the crap the room is gonna be.
yeah.
But for me, it's a decent sized room, so I agreed to pay this much. And if you, as I said, if you want a double room or a own suite, then it's gonna just keep rising itself. So
Hmm.
there's no stop for you. Even if you want one bedroom apartment or something,
Yeah.
that's gonna cost like a lot more. So yeah, it's really expensive.
That makes sense. And Ujjwal, what is the story about the jobs? Because and also like the stay back time. Like I would love to know about that. In Germany, we have a stay back time of 18 months. Like once you're done with your masters or bachelors, you have 18 months. Look for a job. Many people already get during their studies, and then afterwards, you pretty much have a lot of options for most of the fields which are not related to IT. Like it is better to have German because like it just gives you more access whenever you see any kind of paperwork happening with the German public authorities, offices and so on. All of that is in German. So if you're going towards management, mechanical engineering, sometimes civil engineering for sure, like many of these fields, they need you to know, like, to have some kind of German proficiency. What is the story in UK?
So the jobs are we can stay now. Before it was before this year, it was like you could have just for like 4 months time after your degree, and in that 4 months of time, either you find a job and turn your visa, convert your visa into tier two, which is gonna be like full work time visa, and which could have given you like 5 years extra to
Hmm.
live here. But now they've changed it, and now it's 2 years. So they did it like for the people who are going to graduate, I think in 21. They did it all those for all those people, and now they are giving you 2 extra years.
Hmm.
So if they're giving you 2 extra years, you can try to find a job. And some people, some people decide to just not stay here after those 2 years and just go back to their countries, or probably like go to another country. But then now it's better because they're giving you 2 extra years and you can find a job. And probably if you're in IT field, then it will be a lot easier than other fields. Then because here there is a lot of demand for IT people, but obviously you have to be skilled enough. You can't just, they
Yeah.
can't just give you sponsorship just like that. So after that, you can get a visa or something for like, if a company is ready to sponsor you, then you can get another 5-7 years visa with them. So it's okay now.
Hmm. Hmm. That's actually a good kind of like realization that I also get like while you were speaking this. And that is like if everybody is like just like the main language proficiency is English anyways, and like so many people are good at English, so you of course have to be very very good at the skills that you're having, so that like some companies going to take a chance on you. And especially
Yeah.
like during the COVID times, like I've seen this, that like companies are anyways a bit more stringent. They're like like, do we want to make this huge financial commitment at all? Like do we want to like invest so much money inside this person? And I think like for these kind of scenarios, if you want to like go for like English speaking countries, then definitely make sure that you're good at what you're doing. Otherwise like it just gets difficult. In Germany, like the added benefit that you have is like even if you're not that good at your skills, if you have good German proficiency, then they like you because you essentially open up their gates for English speaking countries and also for Germany. And that way like they're generally just getting more out of the money that they're paying to you. So this is like pretty nice. And also like something standard like for IT fields also, like in German you can find jobs very easily in English, but like other fields, German is generally necessary. And so what is the story then, Ujjwal, with the citizenship and PR and all of these things?
So ILR is what we call it here, and it's not easy at all. It's not like I've heard before about Canada and other countries. You have to stay here for like at least 7 to 8 years, at least, I think, and then you can just apply for ILR if a company is. And how are you gonna stay here if a company is sponsoring you, or you're somebody who came here on work visa itself? So for example, if you were working in a big company in India and then they transferred you from their branch to here, and then they gave you visa for around like 5 to 7 years, and then you can apply for ILR. But if you're a student, then after your degree you need to work that amount of time in a company or doing anything, and then you can try to apply either, or you can use another sort of visa. For example, investment visa. If you have too much money, you can just invest in a business and then take that investment to the government and then apply for ILR, then you can get it. And there are some other sort of visas as well, like entrepreneurship visa, which probably you can just start a little startup or something when you're allowed, and then that's pretty much it. But if you're a student, then you have to be like, you have to plan it very, very direction wise. You can't just be like, oh, okay, we'll just do it, and then you think that you are going to get PR. That's not going to happen. You
Mhm,
need to be like extraordinary to get it, especially through your academic ways.
mhm, mhm,
So it's not easy. According to me, my personal thinking is it's not easy at all to get
mhm.
ILR here.
Yeah, makes sense. So in Germany, like the story is that if you study in a German university, you do it like, for 2 years, you do your master's, for 3 years, you do your bachelor's, like that's the general studying periods. Then afterwards, because you've studied in a German university, you can apply for the permanent residency in just 2 years after you've worked full time. So with that, you have the permanent residency. And after a total of 8 years, which includes your study time, let's say bachelor's 3 years, 2 years you essentially worked. So 5 years till you get your permanent residency, and additional 3 years, you can then get the citizenship. So in Germany, the process is also like, pretty streamlined. And like I was comparing this, and like it becomes like a lot more similar to like what Canada has with like their fast track programs and everything. And Germany is trying to go into the same direction, because for Germany, like the main priority is like getting more immigrants, because like just with the way their own population is growing, they will not be able to like kind of, survive the social system that they're having. So that's why like they're like heavily promoting that. Yeah, that's I think pretty much it. Like, citizenship is 8 years, permanent residency generally is 4 years, but like all of your study period is also counted. So do you
Yeah.
have any other tips, Ujjwal, for us, like from your experience of like living in UK for such a long time now?
I mean, I'd say it's not easy, as I've already mentioned in my videos before. People think that because we came here, it's easy, we're living a luxurious life or something. Yeah, lifestyle has changed, obviously, according to the country you're in, but it's tough. So I would say that be positive, no matter what the situation is. Nothing can be worse than the COVID and pandemic we've already,
Yeah.
come across. So I think the more positive we are, the better we will be, no matter which country you go. So positivity is important, according to me, I think.
Yes, that absolutely is a good tip, because I so you came in 2019, Ujjwal. Like, did you find some time to like go around in Europe or something, or in UK, or like was it just like COVID hit like pretty soon, and what was the
Yeah.
story?
Yeah, I was planning, but then obviously in the first year I didn't go anywhere, and then COVID came, and I'm still stuck here. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
now we're planning to go out,
Mm-hmm.
but even out of Cambridge, I haven't been anywhere as such, because I've been like planning and planning, and then I have work, and the days I plan, and other days I study or I have something to do. I have videos, so there's a lot going on right now, and plus I'm on a placement here, so I work from home about that, and then it's too much work right now. But I'm thinking of going to Europe soon,
Mm-hmm.
after I get vaccinated, hopefully,
Yeah.
and then I'll try, like, if we can go, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think like this is like such a weird thing that happened to so many people. Like we just bought our house on this island. It's called Ero in Denmark. And we
Uh-huh.
bought it in like 2019 in September. And our idea was that, okay, like, in 2020 we're going to like start renting out the house like for Airbnb and everything. And like
Yeah.
as soon as 2020 came, lockdowns happened, nobody's traveling. Like we were like, how are we going to like, rent this house out and everything. So I think 2020 and 2021, like it has been a difficult time for many people, but I think one of the best ways to kind of go through this time is like to keep yourself busy and like come up with like more creative things to do. I see like your YouTube channel, like, it's like has so much like interesting stuff, and like, just sharing your stories, sharing your perspectives. That is always a nice way to like kind of add value to
Yeah.
whoever is like, needing any kind of information.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
mean, we try. Still, I mean, you can't just, you can't connect to each and every single person that follow you. But or I think all YouTubers face the same thing. And plus, you are like so much bigger in terms of subs than me. Then you probably might face it like obviously a lot that you can't connect with everybody. Like, but through our videos, we try to, get to as much people as possible so that they don't have any questions or queries in their mind, and it all be solved with our videos. So hopefully, I mean, people will like it more in
Yes.
future.
Of course, absolutely, guys. And everybody, if you're interested into like looking more about the lifestyle and different kind of aspects of it for UK, take a look at Ujjwal's channel. I'm going to put the link for that in the description. Also, if you're more comfortable listening to this comparison in Hindi, we are making a video in Hindi on Ujjwal's channel so that you can take a look at that video and show your parents, friends, whatsoever, whoever is like more comfortable in Hindi there. Thank you so much, Ujjwal, for being on this channel. It was very nice to have you here, and I'll see you on your channel then.